Do you wonder what power truly means, beyond titles and wealth? Then listen closely. I'm Alexander, not the statue, not the myth. Just a man who believed the impossible was worth attempting. I didn't inherit peace, I inherited chaos. My father, King Philip of Macedon, carved out an empire through blood and brilliance. I was 13 when he gave me a tutor. Not just any tutor, Aristotle himself. He taught me logic, ethics, science, poetry, but most of all, he taught me to question everything. And I did, even my father. I asked him once, "What's the point of conquering if our own people still suffer?" He didn't have an answer. So I began searching for my own. At 18, I led my first battle. At 20, I became king. Too young? Maybe. But greatness doesn't wait for permission. I saw a world splintered, tribes, cities, rival empires. I didn't want to rule Macedonia. I wanted to unite humanity, or at least see how far that dream could stretch. The Persians were powerful, but power doesn't make you invincible. I studied their weaknesses, their tactics, their terrain. Then I crossed the Hellespont. It wasn't just a military move. It was a declaration. I wasn't playing politics. I was reshaping reality. You have to understand, when I moved fast. I believed speed, decisiveness, and unpredictability were worth more than brute strength. At Issus, I faced King Darius III. His army doubled mine. He positioned himself on the open plains, confident, comfortable. That's when you know someone will lose. Never trust comfort in war. I charged where they thought I wouldn't, straight through the center toward Darius himself. He fled. His army fell apart. People call it genius. I call it clarity. If you want to lead, if you want to win, you must be willing to break the illusion of safety. Every time I conquered, I did two things. I respected the culture, and I planted a seed of change. In Egypt, I didn't impose my ways. I listened. I learned. They made me a pharaoh. In Persia, I adopted their dress, honored their gods. Some Macedonians called me a traitor. Let them. You don't unify the world by forcing it into a box. You unify it by showing you belong to more than one. But it wasn't all glory. My childhood friend Clytus, I killed him. In anger, drunk, stupid. That moment haunted me more than any battle. Leadership is lonely. Power isolates. You start to believe you're right, even when you're not. And when you finally realize how wrong you can be, sometimes it's too late. But still, I pressed on, because the dream was bigger than my guilt. When I left Egypt, I didn't head home. I headed east. Some asked, "What more do you want?" I didn't want more. I wanted further, further than anyone had ever gone. I crossed deserts that could kill armies, mountains that turned to ice, rivers that drowned men in their armor. Still, we moved forward. In Bactria, I met Roxana. She was fierce, brilliant, and not someone I was supposed to marry. But I didn't care about political alliances anymore. I cared about connection. She taught me a lesson no philosopher ever could. That love, even fleeting, can reshape destiny. We reached India. That wasn't a country. It was a world. Elephants in war. Kings who claimed to descend from gods. I wasn't conquering anymore. I was learning, absorbing. At the Battle of Hydaspes, I fought King Porus. He was noble, defiant. When I defeated him, I asked how he wished to be treated. He said, "Like a king." So I did. I gave him his lands, his power, and my respect. Some in my ranks grumbled. They wanted loot, simplicity, but power without honor is nothing. I named cities, Dozens of them. Alexandria in Egypt, in Syria, in India. Was it vanity? Maybe. But I wanted something more lasting than my own breath. I wanted memory, not just of me, but of a vision. A world where ideas moved faster than borders, where Greek thought and Eastern wisdom could meet and merge. But that world was fragile. My men were tired, sick, homesick. They'd seen wonders, and too much death. I stood before them and asked, "What will you tell your children? That you turned back when the world opened before you." Still, they turned back, and I followed. I wasn't their God, I was their king. You must know when to lead and when to listen. Back in Babylon, I planned not just more conquests, infrastructure, integration, culture. I began training Persians and Greeks together, shared language, shared law. I wanted governors who weren't bound by birth, but by merit. And then I fell ill. Fever, sudden, brutal. Some say I was poisoned. Others say it was the burden, years of war, of pressure, of sleepless nights. I had no air, only a dream. So I told my generals, to the strongest. Those 3 words shaped centuries, wars, dynasties, all because I left behind ambition without direction. And here's what I need you to know. Conquest ends. Legacy doesn't. What you build, what you believe, if strong enough, outlives you. But it must be rooted in something deeper than pride. I spent half my life expanding borders, and the other half trying to erase them. Because unity, real unity, requires humility. I regret becoming a legend more than I cherish it. Because legends don't bleed, legends don't mourn. But I did. I mourned my father, stabbed in the back by his own guard. I mourned Hephaestion, my soul's echo, gone too soon. I mourned every innocent life lost for a vision I wasn't sure the world was ready for. Sometimes I wondered if unity was ever possible. Maybe we are wired to divide, to fear the unfamiliar. But then I remembered cities where Greeks debated with Persians, where temples honored gods of many names. That's not myth, that's memory, proof that coexistence isn't a fantasy, it's a choice. My dream was never just conquest, it was connection. I wanted people to look at each other and see potential, not threat. And if you're watching this, if you're someone who wonders whether your choices matter, let me assure you, they do. Small decisions build empires too. The kindness you show, the courage you practice, the doubt you confront and overcome, it all shapes your legacy. Not everyone is meant to lead armies, but everyone leads something. Your mind, your heart, your moment. And sometimes, just sometimes, your story may echo longer than you think. So what do I want you to remember? That failure walks with greatness. That vulnerability does not weaken power, it purifies it. That ambition, without reflection, becomes destruction. And that true strength is not dominance, it's understanding. I lived like fire, burning quickly, brightly, recklessly. But maybe you can be the light that lingers, the kind that warms, not scorches, the kind that endures. Thank you for listening. If anything in my life sparked something in yours, I'm glad. I hope my journey offers you even a single thread of insight for your own. This was my story, Alexander.